With every Yu-Gi-Oh show, new theories and discussions are born, some created with care and intricate detail, making you believe that they're well thought out. Others are just crazy, wacky, and just out the box. We call those crack theories, and this theory/discussion video will lead more in that sort of direction. Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Downton, and today we're here to talk about and take a look at the Earthdamar silhouette that we see in episode 5 and kind of ask ourselves, is it more than just a joke? Yes, of course, one possibility is that the Earthdamar was just a joke related to the law of the Kappa stealing Yuhi's Shikumarida. But then why would Zawaijo steal it at the end of episode 5? That action alone makes me think that there is something more important going on with the Earthdamar itself. Now, Zawaijo could have just needed the Earthdamar for a machine to power it up, or for a plan. It's even possible that Zawaijo wants to eat it himself to gain more dueling skill, or he wants to feed it to another alien and see what happens. Yuhi did mention that his dueling skills have depleted since the Earthdamar was stolen from him, which I did think was an odd comment to make. Now, this could actually not relate to the Earthdamar being stolen, but in fact Yuhi's confidence. We know that he lost to Kawitel during that flashback, and maybe that loss could have been a traumatizing one that made his confidence get shaken badly, and thus leading to a deeply in his dueling skills. Another way that Yuhi's skills could have taken a hit in terms of his dueling ability since the Earthdamar was stolen was the change in deck. I thought it was really kind of interesting how Kawitel looked quite surprised at the cards that Yuhi was using, and Yuhi responded with a statement saying don't expect the same ones as last time, meaning he's changed his deck since that flashback duel. Now sometimes in Yu-Gi-Oh it can take a person or character time to adjust and learn how to use the deck properly. And in that time you're learning to use the deck and pull off the right combos at the right time with the right cards, you could see a decrease in your dueling ability while you adjust and learn that deck. So that's possibly another reason. But of course, those two reasons are quite logical. And in anime, and in especially Yu-Gi-Oh animes, logic doesn't always factor into things. So let's look at some more illogical ideas. Now, one idea that I did have was, what if the Earthdamar is actually a spirit? Now, spirits aren't a new concept to Yu-Gi-Oh! And even Studio Bridge have used spirit-like beings in the form of Phantom Luke in Sevens. So, I am presenting the idea of the Earthdamar being a spirit. And remember, this is a crack theory/discussion video, so we do need to go a step further, and I think the Earthdamar in spirit form is a former legendary duelist. So the question becomes, who? Well, looking at the silhouette, we can see some details that are present. We can see that the hairstyle shows a lot of spikes, that kind of, if you count them, gives you 8 spikes in total. Now, this might change once we get a physical form, because we could see the back end of the character's hair, and it could be even spikier, giving us more than 8 spikes. But at the moment, we can only see 8. And this next detail is a bit of a stretch, but it does look like the silhouette is wearing a cloak of some sort, because we can't see its arms. So going off of those details, even though we don't have a lot to go with, are there some possible characters that could be the spirit of this Earthdamar? Let's have a look. Now, of course, the first one that springs to mind is Yuga. Of course, Yuga is a great duelist, and is part of the Odo bloodline, so it gives a way for how Yuhi would have a spirit inside of him. However, Yuga doesn't wear a cloak or cape typically within Sevens, and he does have more spikes in his hair, even though they do have fairly similar styles. So I don't think it could be Yuga. Yugi Moto. Now, this sounds really crazy, but this is one I've seen people actually theorize before, and I don't know if they're being, like, serious, but this is the Yu-Gi-Oh fandom, and everyone wants to see Yugi return, so I guess maybe they are. However, I don't see it at all. Yes, they both have spiky hair. Yes, Atem and Yugi may have worn a cape, but the hairstyles don't look anything like each other, and I don't think a Yugi cameo is very likely in Go Rush. It just wouldn't make sense. So, no Yugi Moto. Now, the next character is Luke. We know Luke is the best duelist within the 7th universe, so that gives a link to the Earthdamar, giving Yuhi more dueling skill, if the statement of since the Earthdamar was stolen, Yuhi's dueling skills have depleted is true. Luke does have a slightly similar hairstyle to the silhouette, but again has more spikes in his hair. He has more than 8, basically. Luke also has been seen wearing a cloak/cape. Now, how would Yuhi have the spirit of Luke inside of him? Well, I don't really know that. Maybe Luke's daughter mingled with one of Yuga's children, and then they both created Yomu and Yuhi, making it so that both the Odo twins have Luke's bloodline mixed in with their kind of genes and genetics, giving Yomu the natural dueling skill that Luke had, but giving Yuhi a Phantom Luke, aka Earthdamar. Now, the other character that this could be, and this isn't a character we've seen before, but actually a future villain. Now, this might seem like a bit of a cop-out one, but at the same time, I think it is the most likely outcome, as it does help to answer a few questions. For example, this Earthdamar, if it is a spirit and a future villain, then it gives reason as to why Zawaijo did the actions he did of stealing the Earthdamar. Maybe he's trying to destroy this villain before it fully manifests, or if Zawaijo truly is evil, he might want to try and fully manifest his villain, and the 8 spikes in the hair would kind of link to the show being the 8th Yu-Gi-Oh show within the franchise. Now, how would Yuhi have gotten this evil spirit inside of him if it is the future villain? Well, what did Yuga do in those 2 years in space? What did he find? What did he see? Maybe he found something being created and learned of its dangers that it possessed if it ever fully manifested, and decided that hiding it on Earth would be the best thing to do. Fortunately, Yuhi found it. Now, of course, this is all a bit of a long stretch, but I honestly think it's more likely to be a future villain than a returning character in spirit form. But if it does have to be a returning character, I feel like it's going to be Luke, because Studio Bridge loves Luke. So those were just a few characters that the silhouette could be based around. Now, this is just my opinion, it's just a crazy idea that I had, and I thought I'll present it to you and see what you think in the comments down below. I hope you've enjoyed this idea. If you have any thoughts of your own as to what this Earthdamar could be, then let me know. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this topic. I think it's really interesting, and I'm hoping we learn more in the coming episodes. I hope you've enjoyed this video and the trip down this rabbit hole. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and of course, I'll be bringing you more Yu-Gi-Oh content in the future. Have a great day. Arigato, matane. Goodbye.